Hey everybody, Steve Ritter here. Just wanted to give you a quick update on some of the little yard projects I have going on. If you remember back a few weeks ago, I did the repotted my bonsai plant. So some of you asked how it looks, and I wanted to share a little bit with you here. So I don't know if I can't turn this camera around. So let me go into that. So I'm going to do that, an update on that and the peanut plants and how that's going. It's my first time doing that, so I'm not real sure how that's going to turn out, but some cool, interesting developments I want to show you and just kind of do a stroll around the yard. So here we go. So here's the bonsai plant. You can see it's kind of taken to it. Now, one thing, the Ravishing Mrs. Ritter found some of this mulch, this bag mulch that she got, this organic stuff. I don't know what this is. I don't know what it is. Probably could smoke it somewhere, some of the places where it's legal. I don't think that's what it is though. But I put this in and I watered it, and one of the things I'm kind of seeing, it was developing a little bit of mold there. You can kind of see it right here, some of that kind of fine wispy stuff. So I'm kind of, now when I see that, I kind of pull this away and let the sun get at it. But I just kind of took off. Now it was starting to shed leaves, and I think it kind of does that annually. Like I said, we had a problem last year. I set it outside for some rainwater and it got aphids on it. Aphids were all over, and I sprayed it with this concoction I found online, soap and vinegar and some things like that to kill them, and it did, and all the leaves dropped off. So last year was different. We didn't get to see the drop off. I mean, literally they all dropped off, and I thought I'd killed it, but it came back nice. But repotted this, and I've been pinching these new growths off, but it's popping up all over the place now. You can see some of the little white flowers. Well, it's white for a few days, and then the flowers drop off. But there's a nice little white one right there. See that right there? I'll see if I can point to it. Yeah, right there. So, but lots of new growth. It's taken off. I'm hoping that I'd keep it clipped back, and I have cut it back quite a. Some of the new growth, I keep it cut back, and I'm trying to get the trunk there of this thing to get thicker and older, but it's just going to take years for that. And that's the thing about bonsai. You see some of the old ones, like I mentioned at Epcot. They've got in the Japanese section of Epcot, they have some bonsai trees there that pretty spectacular, and they look like small old trees, and they are. Some of them are like 50 to 80 years old, so it's pretty amazing. So this one's only a few years old, but I'm working on it. So let's go take a look out here on the back porch. First thing you notice is there's nothing on here. I had the hydrangeas here, and it was coming to the end. The leaves are starting to drop off, and it was looking a little ratty. So we decided to go ahead. We're obviously not going to put it out in the yard because it just bring the deer in even more than they already do. But I took and set them out, and somebody came and picked them up, which is fine. So they got repurposed, somebody that could use them. But yard's looking pretty good. Probably going to put a late season fertilizer down just to kind of get it through the season, but looks nice. You can see, like I said, the edge of the green space there is where I put a lot of the yard waste and stuff. So I cut some of my wax myrtles back, lifting them up, and this is pretty cool here. I'm gonna show you this. This is a wax myrtle. It's like full season now, but on these, it's kind of cool because there's only one section of all three of my trees that produce these berries, and you can see the small little purple ones here, these little berries. And this is where the wax myrtle, this is what they used to use back in the day to make candles, and they would boil them and then skim off the wax that would come off the berries. But you can see the purple there, and this is also called bayberry, and that's the smell there. You could find them sometimes, the bayberry candles, but it's got them all over here. I don't know if the birds eat these or not, but I like getting out here and I'll kind of squinch them between my fingers, and then yeah, it smells nice. So, but I kind of keeping this here, cutting the yard away. So there's the branches I cut off, and I just kind of put in there and let them break down. Got an airport right by the house there. Planes fly right over. You can see the deer have come through here. Of course, I don't mind if they poop right there. Breaks down in the soil nice, but whenever I mow the grass, I put the clippings down. You can see little footprints here as the deer have come through, but this is just natural mulch, and it breaks down and it breaks down into the soil, makes the soil better, like I've talked about before. But yeah, so that was one of the deer's highway into the yard, trying to block it off a little bit, but life finds a way and they get through. So got this plant here that continues to do well. It was over by the air conditioner over there. I had them all over there, and they weren't doing well at all, and I just moved the healthiest one over here, and seems to be thriving. It's still going along, but the deer, yeah, like I said, that's their new way in right there. So now the tea olives, which is a couple of times a year, these things start blooming, and it smells like heaven back here when the wind blows. It really is a fragrant bush, these tea olives, and so it produces all these little tiny white flowers that smell wonderful. I mean, it smells like heaven back here right now. Well, I imagine heaven would smell like. I imagine heaven smells pretty good, but really is nice. This little Mondra doing real well. And here's my peanuts back here. We had some big rain today, so it's a little mushy back here, but see the little flower here. And what happens is, I understand, and I'm waiting to see, hopefully it'll produce, but see this little purple tendril that comes out. Let me see if I can get at it here. Right here, this little purplish tendril, and it goes down into the ground, and that's where the peanuts come from. That's what I read about. You can see a few little yellow flowers on there. So hopefully I'll get some peanuts out of this, which peanuts fix nitrogen in the soil, makes it more healthy. Now my rain barrel has a hole in it, so there's nothing in there to speak of, and it just leaks out. So now I got to figure out how do you throw away the trash can? That's a good question. Don't know. So kind of keeping these bushes trimmed back. These have done amazing. The crepe myrtle, or the crepe myrtle here in the front, flowers have come off, it's producing seeds, and then the leaves are starting to turn colors now. So these leaves are going to start dropping off right here. So I'm probably not going to cut that back like I have in years past next spring. I'm going to let that grow out a little bit. So, and I had a little dill plant I put here. I was hoping when it got cooler it would be better, but it don't look so good, does it? So it's coming along. Sweetgrass is, hey puppy, hey. Neighbor dog, oh, she's a sweetheart. Hey, hello. How you doing? Good. So let's see. Got let's see. Pulled out the what did I pull out there? Pulled out some of the basil, cut it back some. Still using it. Onions are still doing real well. We pull off those a little bit. Here's my celery. It's coming along. We should, now that it's cooled down quite a bit, and should continue to cool down, this should do a lot better. Of course, chives, we pulled off this for potatoes and other things, noodles and things like that. These chives continue to do real well. And I cut my thyme back, cut all the dead stuff off, and letting this grow and pruning things to make it healthy. So looks like one of the prints came back. Oh no, somebody's nailing something to me. Huh, okay. I'll see that in a second. The sweetgrass here, it's gonna, as it cools down in the fall, it produces these nice wispy little purple flowers on sweetgrass, which is real pretty. Hey, how's it going? All right. Yeah, doing fine. And this crepe myrtle, the deer keep getting at it, and they break off the branches, and I'm having to put electrical tape on to keep it going. This one here, they broke about a month ago, pulling it down, trying to get at the leaves, so I cut the leaves back up, trying to get it away from the ground a little bit to give it a chance. So I just put it back together and then taped it, and as you can see, well, it's still alive, so pretty resilient. It's got these little berries on the top here. How you doing? Hey. So this hedges up real nice. I actually have to cut this back quite a bit. I got a pile of cut bushes in the back there from these things. These things take off like crazy. So apparently, now this one right here, this bush, when we first moved in, was way down here. So you had a nice hedge, and then it kind of dipped down, and I just kind of kept feeding it, and when I cut limbs and stuff from off of this, like I did here, you can see that. Just pitch it back in the back. I mean, well, I put it in the landfill and send it to the landfill. Got all that good nutrients and everything else that I can put back into the soil, and that means I don't have to fertilize so much. If you look back there, you can kind of see all the leaves and everything else that I've cut back and put back in there. You can see. I'll do other things too, like I'll take coffee grounds after I make my pot of coffee in the morning, and I put that in. I'll dump that all around the yard here. See if I can find some for you. Now yeah, there it is. Oh, there's some right there. I just dump it in there and let the rain soak it into the ground. The earthworms like the coffee grounds. So again, I hate putting stuff in landfills that I can put in my yard instead. And if I wanted to, I had an old trash can I use at the compost bin. I probably will do that with that metal one. Maybe that's an idea, but I decided to keep it. But recycling cut grass when I mow the yard, and yard waste and things like that, and kitchen waste too, that not meat or citrus, but leaves and things like that I cut, or stems that I cut off when I cook, and I'll put in the compost, or now I kind of put back there in the green space. I just walk out there all the time. You can see old onion peels and things like that. I just chuck out there and again let it break down in the soil, So it's kind of like King Kong. It's a sacrifice to the deer. Maybe they'll leave my plants alone. But anyway, that's the latest update. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.